Chevy's done a great job with the latest Trailblazer. It isn't the most efficient or the best performing vehicle in the class, but it is exceedingly competent at nearly everything it does. In the increasingly competitive class of extra small SUVs, the Trailblazer is a half step ahead. So let's look at 10 things you need to know before buying the 2025 Chevrolet Trailblazer. Chevy has made no major changes for this year, but they added a sweet new color option called Marina Blue Metallic. They also switched up some other colors available, so you might find a perfect new shade for your Trailblazer. But let's talk about what matters, how this thing looks. The Trailblazer takes inspiration from its bigger Chevy siblings, the Blazer and Traverse. It's got a sharp, chiseled design that catches the eye. And check out those rear fender flares. They almost remind you of a classic Camaro muscle car. It's a sporty look that's sure to turn heads. Under the Trailblazer's hood, there's a bit of an engine update. The standard engine has been tweaked to run on E85 fuel, which is a biofuel that's better for the environment. Now, engine choices are pretty simple. There are two turbocharged 3-cylinder engines. The base option is a 1.2-liter that puts out 137 horsepower. It's paired with a continuously variable transmission, which some folks call a CVT. If you're looking for a little more pep, an optional 1.3-liter engine gives you 155 horsepower. This one comes with a smoother shifting 9-speed automatic transmission. Overall, the bigger engine with the better transmission is worth considering for a more enjoyable ride. Neither engine will blow you away with speed, since this is a compact SUV built more for cruising around town than winning drag races. That being said, the Trailblazer feels pretty zippy at slower speeds, like running errands or navigating city streets. The bigger 1.3-liter engine with the 9-speed automatic transmission is definitely the smoother option for everyday driving. The 9-speed keeps the engine in its happy zone and shifts gears nicely, though it might take a beat longer than some transmissions when you need a burst of power to pass someone. Overall, owner reviews say the SUV is a reliable ride. They give it a thumbs up for being dependable, which is always a good sign. The steering is also nice and responsive, so you'll feel confident taking corners and navigating tight spaces. First, let's agree this isn't a rock-crawling beast. But the Trailblazer with the bigger 155 horsepower engine actually packs a decent punch for some light off-roading. It's got some metal skid plates underneath to protect the important bits from bumps and scrapes. The active trim is designed to vent off the beaten path. It has special tires that are better suited for dirt and gravel than pavement. The downside? These tires might not stop the car quite as quickly as some rivals on the road. The active trim also boasts a suspension tuned for off-roading, so it can handle those bumpy trails a little smoother. Plus, it's got a cool black mesh grille with chrome accents, special 17-inch wheels, and that functional skid plate we mentioned earlier. The Trailblazer has two engine choices and both offer pretty good fuel economy, especially for a small SUV. The base engine is a 1.2-liter 3-cylinder. With front-wheel drive, it gets an estimated 30 miles per gallon combined, which means it sips gas whether you're in the city or on the highway. The other engine option is a 1.3-liter 3-cylinder. This one gets slightly better gas mileage at 31 miles per gallon combined with front-wheel drive. It also offers more power, so it's a good choice for both efficiency and a little pep. If you need all-wheel drive, that's only available with the bigger 1.3-liter engine. The downside is that fuel economy drops to 27 miles per gallon combined. First, you'll sit up high in the driver's seat, like you're in a bigger SUV. This gives you a nice commanding view of the road. There's plenty of legroom for two adults to sit comfortably in the back seat. The interior is mostly black plastic, but it doesn't feel cheap. If you step up to a higher trim level, you'll get some chrome accents and even some colored trim pieces that make it look a bit more fancy. The front seats might feel a little firm initially, but they're supportive and stay comfy even on longer drives. Around town, you might feel some bumps from rough roads, but it never feels too stiff or like it's crashing over potholes. But once you hit the highway, that's where the car shines. Smooth sailing. The 3-cylinder engine is known for being a bit noisy, but in this SUV, it's actually pretty quiet. you'll only hear a slight growl when you really step on the gas. Road noise and wind noise are noticeable, but they're not overwhelming and won't wear you out on long trips. It's got a super roomy cargo area that can be expanded even further by folding down the back seats and the front passenger seat. That means you can haul some seriously long items if you need to. For its size, the Trailblazer boasts one of the biggest cargo areas in its class. It's still a compact SUV, so it won't swallow a whole couch, but for most everyday errands and adventures, it'll definitely handle your cargo needs. Storage for smaller things inside the cabin is pretty standard. Up front, you've got a tray near the shifter, which can be a wireless charging pad if you choose that option, and some cup holders. There's also a bin under the armrest, but it's a bit narrow and might be better for things you don't need all the time. The door pockets can hold smaller items for front and back seat passengers, but forget about fitting big water bottles. On the driver's side, you get a cool 8-inch digital gauge cluster that shows you all the important driving info in a clear and crisp display. In the center of the dashboard, there's a huge 11-inch touchscreen that controls most of the car's features, like the infotainment system, climate control, and even some vehicle settings. It's a big screen, so it's easy to see and use even while you're driving. The bass sound system comes with 6 speakers, which is okay for casual listening. But if you're an audiophile, there's an available Bose system with 7 speakers that will really pump up the jams. However, this is only available on the Active and RS models, and it's part of a package that includes some other features. No matter which sound system you choose, you'll get standard features like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto for connecting your smartphone and a Wi-Fi hotspot to stay connected on the go. There are also standard USB ports for charging your devices or plugging in a flash drive for your music. The Trailblazer has many driver assistance features to help keep you and everyone on the road safe. These standard features include automatic emergency braking, which can slam on the brakes for you if it detects a potential collision. It can also brake for pedestrians if they're in your path. There's also lane keep assist, which helps nudge you back into your lane if you start to drift. It also comes with a lane departure warning, which gives you an alert if you're about to veer out of your lane without using your turn signal. If you want the fanciest safety tech, like adaptive cruise control, which can automatically adjust your speed to match the car in front of you, that's an option. The good news is that the Trailblazer got a perfect 5-star safety rating from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, and we expect the 2025 model to do just as well. Price-wise, the Trailblazer starts at $24,395 for the base LS trim and goes up to $28,995, depending on which features you choose. We think the sweet spot might be the LT trim. While it starts with the smaller engine, you can upgrade to the more powerful 1.3-liter and even add all-wheel drive for better handling in all weather conditions. This upgrade also gets you a smoother shifting 9-speed automatic transmission.